All right, I'm back. I have a lot to talk about, but first and foremost, I want to get this video out there real quick because big shout out to NexiGo. They're doing some really great things out there, and I want to put this video out there, not just because there's a 4K web camera that they now have that I like. It's good, and I'll show it to you, but big news, even for me, is they had software. I didn't know about this. So this is a big deal. So I'm going to show you the software. I'm going to show you the camera, and hopefully this will be a quick one. First and foremost, I'm Dad, and hopefully I don't waste your time, and let's get to the sponsor. There's no sponsor, but as a reminder, there's pumpkin spice at Dunkin' Donuts. All right, we have the NexiGo 4K UHD. It is the N950P. It is 4K resolution, which is 3840 by 2160 at 30 frames per second. It does allow you to set to other resolutions below that, but it is still going to be 30 frames per second. It comes with a USB Type-C cable. Also comes with a privacy screen, just in case you feel you need that. At the time of recording this video, the camera is $125 on Amazon with a $10 coupon, compared to the Logitech Brio, which is also a 4K camera, at $146. The big difference between the two is that the NexiGo comes with a remote control. The only button that is on the camera is actually the zoom button, which in most cases you're not going to need it because you're not going to be close enough to press the button if you need to zoom in. NexiGo cameras are very good at being extremely adjustable. You can tilt, you can rotate, you can turn, you can move in almost any direction, but this one sadly only tilts up and down. The remote control gives you lots of controls between brightness, microphone volume, zooming, home, 50 hertz versus 60 hertz in case you get a little wobble in your screen. You can mute the microphone, but you can also hide the camera without turning the camera off. All right, now that we're done with the unboxing, which I did like a week ago, let's go ahead and show you the camera. Right out of the box, this is the NexiGo N950P, which, by the way, if you find an N950 and it doesn't have the P on it, it means it's not going to come with a remote control, which I also want to mention. The last time I checked the NexiGo website, they have 22 different types of webcams. So if this isn't the one for you, there's plenty more I can recommend, which I did a video on another one, which is currently my favorite go-to, which is, as I mentioned earlier, they have software that I did not know about, which I am so happy about, because I actually emailed the team over there and I said, hey, you guys are doing really great things, but the one thing that you need right now to keep up with the industry of webcams is your own software. And the response was, well, yeah, we have that. Here's a link. Like I said, this is the camera right out of the box. Now, I've already created a preset for you, so all I have to do is hit one button, and you can see this is how I like it. Now, I can't change. Take all that back. This is the NexiGo webcam software. You can change white balance, brightness, contrast, hue, saturation, sharpness, gamma, backlight, power line frequency. You can change it back to defaults. You can go under to advanced, change the exposure, game, focus, zoom, pan, tilt. There's also support in case you need some help. There's also the manuals to all the cameras. If we go back to adjustments, you can see my settings right here if you want to use them if you happen to get the same camera. But for the most part, like I always say, when it comes to cameras and situations like this, it's all about your own lighting. You need to figure that out on your own. Your settings are for you. This is what works best for me. Probably my absolute favorite part of this software is the fact that you can save presets. That is huge. So at the top, I can actually select which camera, because you can see here I have two different NexiGo webcams plugged in. I can choose which camera, and then I can go and I can load the same preset. I can load a different preset depending on how I want it. That is huge. Most of you have noticed when you go into your camera and you change the properties of it, the next time you turn on your computer and go to use it, all of those have not been saved. That's a common issue with a lot of webcams. That's why Logitech came out with their own G-Hub software, and now NexiGo has their own. Overall, I will say this is a great 4K web camera. This is right up there with the Brio. I have tested other 4K web cameras. Don't go bother looking for them in my other videos because I never uploaded them because I couldn't find any that were any good. NexiGo did a great job with this one, although it is a huge web camera. It is very wide. It has the 2 microphones on it, which, again, I've said this, every single video is a waste of space. No web camera is going to have a good microphone. There's not going to be a lot of situations where most of us are going to need a 4K web camera. For most of us, we don't even need a 2K web camera. If you're streaming, if you are doing Zoom calls, 1080p is the best you're going to be able to do. One reason I would definitely use this camera is because I can set the resolution of the camera to a higher number and use the zoom feature, or essentially it's a digital zoom. I can essentially do the same thing in OBS and use this as a camera that I can zoom into different parts of the room and still have 1080p quality, even though the camera is set to 1440p or 2160. So if you're wondering, will I use this camera? Not for the foreseeable future. And that's mostly for 2 reasons. Where I would mount it, I would need to be able to turn it, and I can't. So currently, I won't be using it. Also, that it's only 30 frames per second, and the webcam that I do use from NexiGo has 60 frames per second, and I really love how that looks, and I only need 1080p 60 frames per second. The second reason that I will not be using it is because I just love this camera. This is my Sony a5100. In the end, fantastic camera. I want to reiterate the fact that I have not found any other 4K camera, 4K web camera that has been any good. Besides the Logitech Brio, which you'll end up spending an extra $31 on currently, and it does not come with a remote control. All right, and that's it. I'm Dad. I hope I didn't waste your time. I hope this was a quick one.
If you only got a mustache.
I know some of you are probably like, hey, I've seen your videos before. You're in a whole different space. I am. I will get to that. Also, we just had another baby. She just turned 3 months old, so that's the main reason I haven't been around.